Let's first look at how meta ads actually work and the 4 simple concepts that every advertiser must understand to have success with ads. Number 1, the metadata loop. In simple terms, the algorithm uses its data to serve ads to people who are most likely to take a specific action. And with each impression, click, or action taken on your ad, the algorithm builds new data and better understands how to serve your ad to the right people. And all the algorithm really wants to do is get you the best results possible based on what you've told it to do. So let's look at a quick example. So let's say person A signs on to Facebook or Instagram at 9 a.m. They see your ad for the first time. They click your ad. They go to your website. They browse around a little bit, but they do not make a purchase. Well, Meta was able to gather some data on that person and use machine learning and AI to learn who the best next person to serve an ad to is. And so then person B signs on around 12 p.m. And based on all that data that Meta gathered, plus all the network data that it has from all its other advertisers, Meta decides that they're going to serve an ad to person B. But person B just makes a simple comment on your ad and doesn't even click to your website. But now Meta is starting to understand how different people are reacting to your ad. So then person C signs on around 1 p.m. and Meta decides to serve the ad to person C based on all the information that it has. And then person C clicks your ad and makes a purchase. And then person A arrives back online around 10 p.m. And now Meta has enough data to understand that if they serve the ad to person A again, they might actually convert. So they serve the ad and then person A ends up making a purchase. Now again, this is the metadata loop. At the core, Meta uses its data to analyze your ad and show it to people who are most likely to take your desired action. And with every interaction your ad gets, Meta has more data to understand who to serve your ad to next. So Meta gets better and better at serving your ads. And that's why the more conversions you get, the better Meta gets at getting you conversions. So it's really automatically just building lookalike audiences on each ad and auto-targeting and retargeting your ideal prospects all in the blink of an eye. Okay, so number 2, we need to look at interest targeting. Now, Meta has always allowed you to choose interest targeting or targeting options like pet owners or health and wellness. And Meta does have the best data to understand, what people's interests are and behaviors and demographics and all of that. However, when you tell Meta to target a certain audience, here's what they actually do. They may take your audience suggestion into consideration, but they will override your targeting when it's likely to improve performance. So basically, they're saying, yeah, you can give us suggestions, but we're going to override it no matter what if we think we're going to get you more purchases. So it doesn't really make sense to use interest targeting anymore. So here's how we need to think about targeting our ads. We target broad or age, gender, and location only, and then we create ads that speak directly to our ideal audience and let the AI and machine learning sort of self-target based on the data and learnings that it's getting from your ad. And third, let's look at retargeting. So as I explained earlier, Meta is going to show your ads to people that it thinks are likely to take an action on your desired objective. So it's going to show your ads to someone multiple times or retarget them if they think it will result in a conversion. So let's say you're running 5 ads, it might show one person multiple ads if they think they're going to get that conversion. Therefore, retargeting is already happening and not something that we really need to worry about. In fact, when you set up a retargeting campaign, you're just choosing to pay extra to show your ads to the same people. Now, there is a time and place for retargeting, but for like 90% of businesses, we don't even need to worry about this anymore. And number 4, let's look at lookalike audiences. Now, the metadata loop is already creating lookalike audiences based on your ad and every ad that you serve. So at the core, Meta is serving your ads to gather data, and then it's serving your ads to people who are more likely to take an action based on the data that it's gathered. And the process starts to refine itself. So again, that's why the more conversions you get, the better Meta gets at getting you conversions. So it's continually building data and building a better customer profile on each ad that you're serving. So essentially, it's creating lookalike audiences automatically. And with this information, you're already ahead of like 95% of advertisers and so-called experts. So traditionally, running ads was super confusing and hard, and whoever had the most complex system was the leading expert. And I remember it was standard practice to create multiple campaigns with multiple ad sets and like 5 ads per ad set. And the majority of time and effort was spent on testing. And you'd have multiple different ads with different interest targeting and then continuously comb through data to find your winning ads and winning audiences, and then move those ads and audiences into a scaling campaign. And then you would set up retargeting and lookalike audiences and always make sure to use exclusions so that you didn't have audience overlap. And now I don't want to discredit this complex strategy entirely because there can be a time and place for these types of strategies, but it's just not necessary for like 90% of businesses to use a complex system like this. And if none of this makes sense to you, don't worry because it doesn't need to. Because the point is, running ads used to be this complex system of multiple campaigns and interests and retargeting and lookalikes, but that's all changed. You don't even need to worry about retargeting, lookalikes, or interest targetings. There is a place for this stuff, but again, it's not needed for like 90% of businesses out there, which means you can successfully run $1 million budget with just one campaign, one ad set, and a handful of good ads. But don't take my word for it. Here's what Facebook or Meta themselves has to say about the current state of advertising.
Hi, my name is Jake Bailey. I'm the head of industry for the emerging disruptors vertical at Facebook. Historically, the best performance marketers, or those that were working on online conversions, were the ones that were best with manually turning the knobs and the levers to target very specific audiences that they knew were part of their core customer base. But what we shifted to, and an inflection point we've already passed, is that disruptors are embracing machine learning to do all of that stuff on the fly for them. So they no longer have to spend all of their time pulling these levers and trying to optimize for these smaller audiences and tripping all over themselves. It's much more automated and it helps them scale much faster. If you don't embrace these best practices, you're always going to be behind and you're never going to catch up. And you're also never going to get the full benefit and capabilities that we have across the Facebook family of apps.
So now smart advertisers just let the algorithm do its job. And instead of having complex setups like the one I showed you before, now you can just run one campaign with a handful of good ads to a broad audience, and the targeting and retargeting and lookalike audiences are all happening automatically, which means you can quickly and easily learn meta ads and grow any business. In other words, you can quickly develop this incredibly high value skill and work from anywhere in the world and make good money all in just a few hours a week. And instead of all that crazy stuff we used to have to worry about, now we can just focus on one, creating good ads. And with AI, anyone can now create effective ads. And two, setting up our campaigns properly. And this is really just selecting the right options or essentially pushing the right buttons. And the best part is, with the proper campaign structure and a few good ads, you could spend $50 a day or $5,000 a day while maintaining your preferred ROI on autopilot. And if things slow down, you just create a few new ads and you're back on track. Here's the deal. Just like any skill, you must learn the fundamentals before you become a master. And with Meta Ads, you have access to a ton of tools and capabilities. In fact, there are so many options within this platform that it can be confusing to navigate. But once you understand how all these options work and what they're used for, you can quickly make good decisions in your account. And it will be easy to set up profitable campaigns for any business within 15 minutes or less. But you must learn those fundamentals or you will get eaten alive. Now, linked below is my Meta Ads course. And in this course, you are going to learn everything that you need to successfully run ads so that you can go from a total beginner to a Meta Ads pro in a matter of hours. And you can finally have that high value skill that's in high demand that people will gladly pay you for. And if you don't want to run ads as a service, you can use this skill to grow your own business. I mean, most people who have taken my course actually do both. So click the link below and learn more about my course now. So thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you on the other side.